There's nothing, literally nothing he can't do. And we say that about a lot of players, but when you really think about it, that's Larry. What's up, family? Welcome back to the channel. While you in here, hit that like, comment, subscribe, notification bell so you can be notified every time Her Takes uploads a new video. Because we've got some bangers coming. I want to show my appreciation and love to all of you that have come into the comments, engaged, pushing these videos over this last month. It is much appreciated. And all of the video suggestions, boy, we've got a lot of them. We still have some from talking about Jordan that we haven't covered yet. We gonna get to them. But right now we on this Larry Bird grind. We're learning about Larry Bird, and boy, it's some good stuff. And we're gonna do this one today. The best trash talker. Y'all know I had to get that one in. The best trash talker. I want to hear that one. I appreciate each and every one of you that came into the comments and made your suggestions. We will be. I got to get on my grind. Just to address a couple of things from the mixtape review. One, Larry Bird only got 2 MVP Finals awards. I said 3. I thought one of the years he didn't get, I think they said Maxwell, something like that, was the guy that got it that year. Something like that. I'm trying to go off the dome. You know, when you get old, that's a little challenging. But we here. I think they said the guy's name was Maxwell that got it that one year that Larry didn't get it. It was like a close running, and that guy got it. Something like that. That was a mistake that I made, and I appreciate those of you that come in the comments and let me know. That's what we're here for. It's all of our take. You know, I give her take, but it's all of our take. I love it. The other thing was the Great White Hope that I mentioned in the video. I actually had that in the initial title, and thankfully for you all informing me that that's something that Larry Bird didn't want associated with him. So I immediately deleted that out of my title. And we won't mention that on this channel again. It speaks volumes of who Larry Bird really is. He just was a man playing basketball. He didn't want to get into all that racial hype that they tried to push back then, make it seem like him and Magic Johnson were beefing, when in reality they were really good friends. So we're gonna jump into this trash talking. I'm looking forward to it because I remember a while back, I can't remember who the ex-player was, but there was an ex-player that talked about Larry Bird and his trash talking, and they said sometimes he would come on the court, and if the opposing team had a white guy guarding him, this whole time he really talked about race now. He felt offended, like, why y'all put that white boy on me? Get that white boy off me. And he would give them buckets if they did. Larry Bird was the definition of wanting all the smoke before the youngsters made all the smoke popular. Like, he wanted the smoke. He wanted the best defenders on him, and he just felt disrespected if they put a white guy on him. Anyway, we're gonna jump into this reaction. The best trash talker. Let's see what's up with it. We even got the green screen up. I wasn't lazy today. We ready.
Larry Bird was one of the biggest trash talkers in basketball. And a lot of people say, really? Yeah, they thought it was Reggie or Charles.
Bird used to tell me, look here, man, you supposed to be a great defender, right? I'm going to make sure I tell you where I'm going to shoot the ball at.
Yeah, he said, I'm going to get it right here. I'm going to shoot it right in your face.
And I'm looking at this guy like, he's nuts.
I'm going to shoot this fucking jumper in your face right there in that cone. And it's going to be your Christmas present. I'm going to wrap it up and bust your head open.
And that's exactly what he did. He tell you going to hit a shot in a certain place. You can do just that, and there ain't nothing you can do about it.
Been a better player each step I took. I was able to go a little more than the other guys. I had a green light. I could make plays, but I always knew early on, especially when I was a junior and senior in high school, that probably the outcome of the game was going to depend on me.
Well, yeah, I interviewed Gary Payton, a venomous trash talker. And I asked him who the most vicious trash talker he's ever encountered. He said Larry Bird.
Oh, no question.
Bird talk shit like we talk.
Let me tell y'all something. Bird used to tell me, look here, man, I'm going to go shoot this motherfucking jumper in your face right there in that cone. And it's going to be your Christmas present. I'm going to wrap it up and bust your head open. All that shit.
He told me, young fella, let me tell you something. I can shoot a jumper anywhere I want to. You're supposed to be a great defender, right? I'm going to make sure I tell you where I'm going to shoot the ball at. And I was like, man, come on now. You're not going to shoot the ball. And so he said, I'm going to take you over in that corner right there. You see it over there by my bench, right? And I'm going to give you something, and it's going to be this jumper. So he went right to that corner, and I'm up on him. I'm wondering. And he said, young fella, what did I tell you I was going to do? And he turned around, raised up.
Got him. See, that's the thing right there. He can do that, and they got respect for him. Why? Because he backs it up. He talking his talk and then he backs it up. This is coming from a guy who, just from the count of how he look and his build and all that, he ain't supposed to be there. So and then you gonna talk junk to me? They respected him for that. I'm sure it made him mad, but they had nothing but respect for this man. Nothing but respect. Love it.
And I said, shit, I ain't gonna mess with you no more.
See?
The oldest dude I ever seen with that shit, man. Everybody be talking about these greats. They'll be always mentioning him. He was the shit.
Facts.
Shit, man. He'll give it to you any way you want to. Larry Bird was cold.
Bird didn't talk trash to you.
Oh my God, Bird talk trash to everybody.
Everybody.
I always tell the story about Larry Bird. I remember him, he was cursing under his breath. And I asked him, I said, Larry, what's going on with you? He says, you guys are being disrespectful to me. And I says, what are you talking about? He says, you guys are putting a white guy on me.
I told y'all.
Disrespectful. I just started laughing. I had no comeback. He says, it's disrespectful when y'all put a white guy on me.
Larry said, I'm in.
Here's the thing. I didn't know it was Charles Barkley. I feel like it must be multiple players, because I would have remembered it if it was Charles Barkley that said that. So it must have been multiple players. He must have made that known around the league. Don't be putting no white guy on me. That's funny.
Insulted that they would put a sorry dude like you on me. He said, no, I don't even want to play no more. He would drop the ball and take a turnover. And I'm looking at this guy.
What?
Like, he's nuts, you know.
And Neek was a kind of solid defender. I'm surprised he didn't want Neek on him.
The story goes that when he played against Denver, they had a guy named John Hasley, a white guy, a really good defender, right?
Okay.
They put him on Larry, and Larry was weighing his ass out. And Larry would run by the bench and tell Doug Moe, who's the coach, get him off me. That's disrespectful. Put a black guy on me. Because when he played back in the day, that's all.
Okay, so it was multiple people. He made that known around the league. He felt disrespected. That's funny.
He played against was brothers. So he was like, I had to torch his ass so they understand.
And Larry got on the roll, started shooting the ball. Every shot was going in. All right, he runs by Frank Layden, who's the funniest guy in the league. And Frank is coaching, and Larry would say to him, hey, Frank, don't you have anybody on that bench that can guard me? He goes, so nobody out here can. Frank looks down at the bench and goes, no.
Along with Steve Jones and Rick Barry, this is Bob Neal. Just moments before the American Airlines Sheraton long-distance shootout.
The All-Star game is in Dallas. The first three-point starts looking at guys. Doesn't say a word, and people are getting kind of nervous. Everybody's sitting there. Everybody's real quiet. You knew the guys, but you never were around them. And nobody's really saying anything. So I walk in and look around, and then he finally speaks and says, I'm just looking to see who's going to finish second.
See, it was at that moment he got in their head.
Guys in here thinking about second place because I'm winning this.
Excuse me? Did you really say that? Who's playing for second?
Yeah, I did. I felt so bad.
What do you like in there? What were you thinking when you made that announcement to the room? Just messing with all those guys?
I know going into that, I remember in the locker room, Robert said something that there's no way in hell I was going to win that three-point contest. So I knew right there that I had to win it.
That chick said my name on it for a week now, and I knew I was going to win this thing. I've been practicing. My teammates said I wasn't going to win it, but I came back and lucked out, really.
Bird would luck out again the next year, but in 1988, it looked like his luck had finally run out. He certainly doesn't have that normal Bird rhythm going on. Seconds remaining, has only 7, has to beat 15. That's 8, make it 9, and 10, and 11.
Wit.
Counting. 13. Huge rack that time for Bird. He's still going to drop one here quickly. 14. This is a tie for the money.
Whoa. Oh, let that sink in, man. You got Michael Jordan and some other greats back there watching him. They not even out there participating in the three-point contest. But they knew he was participating, and they standing there watching. See they watching what's going to happen. Respect.
What the score was, he knew that ball was going to win the competition for him, and it's almost like he did it in dramatic fashion just to make it more fun.
He knew it when he let it go and was headed for the winner's circle. He didn't take off his top yet.
He didn't take off his jacket. Beat y'all in his jacket.
Larry used to come in the locker room, he'd be getting his ankles taped, and he'd say, You know, hey, ball boy, run in and go find the scoring record in this building. You know, he needed those kind of challenges.
Motivation.
Every goal. We hadn't lost a game on the trip. And Larry told all of us players and the media too, Warren Knight's the last game of the trip, I'm going to play this one left-handed at least through three-quarters.
Motivation.
It was at a time when, McHale was still coming off the bench. And so Larry scores his 6th point on a left-handed shot. And I'll never forget him. McHale yells out, and McHale goes, "Hey, Jerome, when do we start shooting right-handed?"
And at the end of three-quarters, I get 27 points left-handed. Well, left-handed is one thing, but when the game got close, I had to go back to the right one.
He could hold all these things in his head during the game. So he'd have a shooting drill at the old Boston Garden.
4:30 in the afternoon. I was an early guy. I'd set up early. The garden would be dark.
Late in the afternoon by himself, dark garden, come out with an equipment guy and just do the perimeter, shoot for half hour, and all you heard was swishing.
If he missed a shot during that thing, he'd say that the Bull Gang set up something wrong with the rim. Otherwise that would have gone in.
I'd get there early, plug in my Stone Age computer right next to the bench. He'd come over, he called me Scoop, he said, "Scoop, what are you working on?" I'm like, "I'm doing an early story."
But I'd say, "Well, I'm doing an early edition newspaper story about your free throw streak."
You are approximating the NBA record for consecutive free throws, so don't miss one tonight or I'll look bad in the paper.
Sure enough, first half, he goes to the line for 2, and the foul line is lined up right where we're sitting.
Pressure.
He's at the line. He makes the first.
He looks over and winks at me.
He looks over and winks at me before he makes the second. I mean, guys don't do that today. And he would...
Always thinking about these things. It's like paying off a bet in the middle of the game. He was doing 2 things at once.
Well, you had the bird night.
I had the bird night. Yeah, that was a tough night, man.
But nobody was guarding Bird, were they?
But we were trying.
You were trying to.
No, but when a guy is literally coming up the court, calling his shots, it's in that game, we're on the free throw line, and he's like, he literally says,
"It's off the glass. Who's next? Where do you want this one from?" And he just made one after another. And
he asked them where they want it from.
And he just tortured them mentally. That game tortured all of them.
I think Bird went by the bench one time, too.
He fell in the bench.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, and he called that one. That was the one where he fell in it. He literally said, off the glass into the trainer.
His last shot, he said, in the trainer's lap, coming down the court. He shot this high rainbow. It goes in. Ricky bumps into him and knocks him on our trainer's lap.
And did it.
Exactly what he said.
Antoine Carr and Cliff Livingston got fined by Fratello, I think.
And Eddie Johnson for celebrating.
Celebrating Bird.
Yeah, it was the best film session. Every time when I see Mike, we still laugh.
God,
it was the greatest film session ever because back then, you watched the real game and just went, with a video, and Mike rewound the celebration 20 times.
And they show a shot of our bench. Cliff Livingston and Eddie Johnson.
Oh, we just reacted to that in the mixtape, and I was mad. Remember, if you guys watched it. Shout out to Mike Fratello. He fined them boys for that. That was disrespectful. That was disrespectful. Much respect to Bird, but you don't do that on your own squad now. Come on. I'm glad they got.
I'm standing up giving each other high five.
I mean, everybody was entertained by this. Even the guys on the Atlanta bench.
They got fined for that.
Watch the reactions on the Atlanta bench. You see Scotty Hayes.
Ridiculous.
Come over here. I think this is Cliff.
Ridiculous.
Fratello wouldn't let it go. He just kept rewinding. Showing the guys, you remember they're giving each other high five.
And then somebody falls off the bench.
Yeah,
too.
that was Eddie Johnson.
Yeah.
Eddie Johnson falls off the bench in laughter, and Antoine Carr and Cliff gives each other a high five. And our film session is 20 minutes of that.
They bugging. They were bugging for real.
Yeah, and so it was a bad night.
The first game against Larry Bird, it was shocking. And I'm a rookie, I go shake his hand, and he put both hands behind his back. And I'm saying, okay, you get this head ready to play. First play of the game, he says, "I don't know where they got you guarding me, Holmes." And he shoots a 3. I was pissed.
Oh, that's why he didn't want Neat. I wonder, why he want Neat guarding him. Neat was a rookie, so he felt disrespected. Oh, my God.
I said, I wasn't mad he hit the 3. But this called me Holmes.
He got
it set up for a really interesting game. I remember one time I came down and I dunked it on him. He laying on the ground. He fouled me. And I'm
Holmes.
And he said, "Hey, Rook." I said, "What?" He said, I like you. You know, he said, you got balls, but I'm still going to get 30 on
Still gonna get you.
You know? He got about 38, so it kind of proved his point.
Still gonna give you this work.
I wasn't upset about that because, you know, back then, you know, as a rookie, you know, you got to pay your dues. Simple as that.
It was funny, the first time that I played in my rookie year, I guarded Larry Bird, and it took me about 10 minutes to realize I should be probably guarding him instead of staring at him. You know? And he came down, it was funny, he came down one time, and Mark West was the center on our team, and Larry looked at me, and then he looked at Mark, and he said, Mark, I'm going to go down, I'm going to come off the screen, I'm going to catch it right there, I'm going to turn around, I'm going to shoot it in the rookie's face, and then I'm going to run down the floor. And that's exactly what he did. And I'm sitting there, that just happened.
He enjoyed the show.
To you, or you never
You didn't get disrespect.
I love that.
Like, I wasn't even there.
And did Mark West
Mark was like, all right,
okay, yeah, all right.
You probably will. Good luck.
What can you do?
He did it.
But he did
There
that.
was nothing I could do about it.
He backed up whatever he said. If he tell you going to hit a shot in a certain place, or if he going to take you down to the post, turn around, hit a fadeaway J, he going to do just that, and ain't nothing you can do about it.
These guys came in together in 81. There's Kevin, there's Larry, there's Robert. Dennis Johnson, Danny Ainge, they knew what each other could do. And what I did was said, okay, let's see what's happening out there. And you'd see Larry shoot the three-pointer, and then I call a timeout, and they didn't count the three-pointer.
Larry just hit what would have been the game-winning shot, but KC called timeout.
It's not count. Hawks going to call the timeout.
Larry came back to the bench, and you know, he was a little upset.
So he's very upset with that, so I diagrammed the play. He says, hit with the play, Case. Hey, guys, when I come back after timeout, I'm going to go right to the same spot. I'm going to kick it in.
Run it back.
All the rest of the guys get out of the way. I said, shut up, Larry. I'm the coach here. Okay. All right. Dennis, you take the ball out, give it to Kevin, then you throw it to Larry, and everybody get the hell out of the way.
Hey.
Celtics are down by
What he said.
And Bird is out by the three-point line, and he's being guarded by a guy named Johnny High.
He goes down before the ball is thrown in, and he's standing right in front of the Phoenix bench, and he looks at all the guys on the bench and says,
yeah, I'm just fixing to bust a three on you guys and just go home. I'm tired of this.
And he says, watch my hand as I follow through.
And, you know, Johnny High sort of smiles and laughs about it.
And I was supposed to cut off the high post and post up for a second and then go across and set a pick. Well, I came off the pick.
Daddy
wide
Ainge.
open, and I stood there waiting for the ball. I had a smaller guy to post up, and Larry just waved me out of the way saying, get out of here, get out of the way.
And then he just turns around and shoots a perfect three.
As the ball's in the air, he kind of turns towards the Phoenix bench and yells, told you so. Run into the locker room.
As he continues on to the dressing room. Now, that's what you call arrogance.
And for that time, I learned to run Larry's play, not the coach's play.
He wanted the light on him. He wanted the focus, and he wanted that ball. And in case he would ever call somebody else's play, Larry would just say, no. I'm shooting this ball, and he would.
I get a charge when I tell someone on the opposing team that I'm going to hit the last second shot and then do it. That's what it's all about.
High game, 13 seconds to play. Celtics basketball.
During the timeout, I'm going through a play, and about that time, Larry steps in and says, Coach, why don't you just give me the ball and tell everybody to get out of the way? And he wants the ball, he wants the ball. After the timeout, we walked back on the court, and then Xavier was guarding me. So he tells Xavier, he says, I'm getting the ball.
I said, I know, I'm going to be waiting. Yeah, he said, I'm going to get it right here. I'm going to shoot it right in your face.
So he let him know. He still couldn't stop it.
Bird has the basketball. Look out. Larry Bird just phenomenal the way that
He came out with about that exact spot and shot a shot right in my face. And, you know, he was like, I didn't need to leave 2 seconds on the clock. I went back to the sideline like, damn.
Larry Bird was one of the biggest trash talkers in basketball. And a lot of people said, really? You know, they thought it was Reggie or Charles. Larry Bird talked more trash on the basketball court than anybody I've ever played against. So we playing him the last play. He says to James Worthy, he says, you guys don't have to worry about it. I'm going to go right over there in that corner. And I'm going to catch it, I'm going to shoot it, and I'm going to tie the game or win the game, whatever the case may be. They take the ball out, and I think it was either Danny or DJ, the late, great DJ.
Yeah. You DJ coming down. Oh, great DJ. That's good. So pass it to Larry. He's in that corner. Now I got to go out and close Larry Bird out. So as I'm running out to Larry Bird, he's talking trash to me. I don't know why you running out here. Who says that in the middle of the game? He said, I'm gonna wait till you get one step away from me and I'm gonna shoot it right in your face. So I got one step away. He shoots it on net. 3-pointer, good.
Take the ball out, man crow right to the corner, caught the shot, shot a three, game over. It's like, are you effing kidding me?
Dang.
And he turned to me and said, you did all that running for nothing.
In such a calm way that you didn't think it was trash talking, but it's trash talking. You're not gonna tell me you would go over there and shoot the ball in my face. That's trash talking. But he would tell you before the play even started. He'd tell you where he's going, he'd tell you when he catches it, there's nothing you can do about it. And it was great trash talking.
It's just like when you play cards. I done played a little spades in my day. You can show your hand. I can show you my hand, but you can't play my hand. So, you know, he showed his hand. He told him what he was going to do, where he was going to be. They couldn't stop it.
Because it wasn't vulgar. I mean, he wasn't pounding his chest. You can just be standing next to him. You know, I would jump out and try to block a shot.
Look at that.
And he'd say, Scott. You jump high, but you don't jump that high. You can't get this. Scott, you're a little too late. Scott, you're not getting that. Why are you even jumping? Why are you running out of it? But it was all game.
Did he say something like, don't do that?
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, I mean, he talked the whole game, and it was, you know, after the game and after years of thinking about it, you're like, man, that dude is one of the greatest players ever played.
It's ridiculous. Our sportscaster played the Superman theme when he was talking about him that night after the game, because he did everything: points, rebounds, assists, just steals, you name it. Larry.
Catch that. He said our sportscaster was playing a Superman theme. Not the Celtic sportscaster. He said our sportscaster. Dang.
Has such a great mind for the game. I had a lot of respect for him as a competitor.
That competitive nature, the work ethic, because I asked a lot of questions. You know, playing with Byron Scott, I asked him a lot of questions. Eddie Jones, Magic, James Worthy, Kurt Rambis, all the Laker greats. I would always sit down and just ask them questions. What actually happened there? What did you feel there? Why? You know, Bird tough to defend. Why? Because you look slow as shit to me. I'm missing something. So, like, tell me what I'm missing. You know what I mean?
You know, like I was saying, growing up in Boston, people all used to always talking about that he can't jump, he can't do this, he can't do that. And, you know, a lot of my friends was like that, you know. So, I got to the league. I called all my friends back up. I said, you know, all that trash you need to squash all that. This man is great. Whatever you were saying for a man who can't jump, he's demolishing everybody.
The funny thing about that, they try to say the same thing about Joker today. And what is he doing? Dominating the league. He can't jump. He's not athletic. He's dominating the league with his skill set. And that's the same thing with Larry Bird. Same thing. People try to say the same stuff. But
He's doing it on everybody. He's doing it on the best defensive players in the league.
I never forget driving, and I'm listening to a game. It's New Mexico State playing Indiana State. I don't really care about the game, but New Mexico State is right up the street from El Paso, and I went to UTEP, and we're big rivalries. So I'm hoping that Indiana State will beat New Mexico State. And I'm listening to the radio, and I have no clue of the players on either team. All of a sudden, this name keeps coming. Bird. He goes to the right. Bird. He makes the shot. Bird. I said, God damn, who's Bird?
y'all see that logo 3 Bird?
Bird. You know, here's Bird. And Bird this. And Bird. Oh, did you see the pass that Bird made? I can't see it, but I'm just trying to imagine it. When the time I got to the end, I said, damn, that brother can play. I got the newspaper the next morning and saw Larry's picture. I said, damn. Larry, it wasn't you know, be honest with you. The young lady that said you were her favorite player, mine too. I love you too, Magic, but not as much as I like Bird.
Always talk about great basketball players, and they don't never mention him to be up in that round. But Larry Bird was cold. I don't think nobody ever could get out with him. You ask Magic. That's why Magic had a run, and he was mad when he had to retire in '92 because of what he was going to be missing with Larry Bird. And then you remember Larry Bird took 2 more years, and then he would quit because he said his main guy who he wanted to play against is gone.
I'm going to tell this story. We're in L.A., and I'm hurt. I got a pulled hamstring, so I'm not playing tonight. So I can't play against the Celtics. You know, I'm killing myself. You know, Larry's warming up. the anthem is sung and get introduced, and right before they go out on the court, Larry comes down and says, you know what? Since you're here, I'm gonna put a show on for you. So you just sit back and watch, okay? Don't worry. I'm gonna put a show on for you. And I'm like, man, get out of my face, man. I wanna hear that. You know, that's selfish of the Lakers. And he went out. I think he scored 38.5.
Put on a show.
Rebounds, about 15 assists. And every shot he would shoot, he would turn to me. Every time he hit one, he looked at me. And I said, boy, you know, the thing about it that I love about you is that most guys talk trash and can't bag it up.
See?
But Mr. Bird, you know you can bag your trash talking up. And last but not least, I'm going to say this because you told me one lie. You only told me one lie in your career. Only one. And you only lied to the fans and all the people in the world one time. Do you know what that lie was? You don't remember, do you? Larry Bird said that there would be another Larry Bird one day. And Larry, there will never, ever, ever be another Larry Bird.
Let that sink in for real, because when you think about his entire skill set, his shooting, his flashy passing, his mind of the game, being 2 steps ahead of the game, calling his shots where he gonna be, you know, how he gonna score against you, and you still can't stop it. You know, telling Magic what he was gonna do in this game, and everything he did and backed it up, where he came from, who he is, his build, everything about him. Who's going to duplicate? He literally is a mixture of all the greats. He got some of all the greats. Mid-range, 3-point shooting, driving to the basket, passing, post work, splitting the defense, stealing the ball, rebound, everything. He's got it all. There's literally nothing he can't do. And we say that about a lot of players, but when you really, really think about it, that's Larry. So I don't think there will ever be another.
And so this is mine, and I signed it to you.
Respect.
Greatest basketball player.
But that was a really good video that opens up and show you who he was as a player, how he could have fun on the court. If I had to take anything from this video to help me as a person living life, and I suggest you to do the same thing, let his push and his drive come off into you. The things that the naysayers say you can't do, show them that you can do it. Be resilient. Be a man and a woman of your word. He said he gonna do it. He did it. He backed it up. I love it. But anyway, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you're new. And as always, stay safe. On to the next one. Peace.